What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Phillies Sports History for July 20th, 2023. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery, coming at you live from Ocean City, Maryland. So the sound obviously is going to be different than it normally would be. I don't have Baba Booey here with me to help, but big Phillies news yesterday was that Andrew Painter does need the Tommy John surgery after all. And it pretty much means he's going to be out until 2025 season likely. And I know his name was thrown around as possible a trade candidate. I know there's a lot of talk when we were driving down listening about Juan Soto. So I don't know how that will impact his trade value if they're even interested in trading him. But it's kind of annoying because you knew about this in March, and I feel like they probably should have gotten this done and taken care of back in March instead of now. So now you're kind of putting him on the shelf for all of next season, and the fact that he was supposed to be one of our starters this season, really, it's annoying. So, but it is what it is, I guess, is what they say. And tough loss last night, too, 5-3. They just really couldn't get any offense going. It was Castellanos hit the home run, and that was about it. I know they went 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position, which isn't necessarily going to get it done. They did rally and showed fight, which, again, I like. They just couldn't get over the hump, so they look to take that series this afternoon. Sanchez looked good again in that fifth starter role. He's doing what the fifth starter should go. He's keeping it close, keeping them in the game through 5 innings, and then turning it over to the bullpen. So we'll take it. Let's get this series today, and then we'll go from there. If you want more Phillies coverage, check out our friends at 2008 Phils. They have the biggest Phillies email newsletter in the world. I've been telling you, it's a must-read. There's a lot of good content on there. They just did their I forget what they called it, actually, but basically how the approval ratings for the players for the past couple weeks. So that just came in my email box last night, so go check that out. For the limited time, they're giving you a 75% off your subscription, specifically for This Day in Philly Sports History listeners. Check out the description or the link in the description wherever you're getting this. I did put it in the Instagram, or I haven't put it in the Instagram after I forgot, but what a subscription does is get you access to all of the content they have, and it's a wealth of content. You can go check out the archives, the discussion boards, and basically you get all of that. You get this great 2008 championship banners t-shirt that I'm wearing right now. The 2008 Phils will follow your Twitter, and if you're trying to grow your brand, it definitely is a good follow because there's a lot of folks that follow him. He's a good, strong base. Get access to the autographs and giveaways, tickets, memorabilia, that type of thing, and it's all for $2 a month, or pay for the whole year for $20. Like I said, this t-shirt alone is worth it for $20, but then you get all of that amazing content too. So go check them out. Follow the link in the description here for your exclusive 75% off your subscription for This Day in Philly Sports History listeners. All right, so as the Harden turns, there's not really much of an update on James Harden and what's happening there. However, the big news yesterday was the Sixers are going to pay the city's pay the bill for the studies they're doing for the feasibility of the new stadium and what impact it's going to have. As with everything in local politics, people were on both sides. Some people were calling it shady. The Chinatown group was like, what are you doing? This is, of course, they're paying for it, so it's going to be this. Kenny got pissed off and said, no, the taxpayers shouldn't have to pay the bill for something that they want to do. And the Sixers are going to have zero input on anything and involvement other than paying for it. So Kenny basically took it personally. But I personally think good. I mean, I'm not a resident of the city anymore. However, if the Sixers want to have the stadium, obviously the city needs to look at it and see the feasibility of it, what impact it's going to have and all that. So why shouldn't they pay for it? And say what you want about politics and people like that. I mean, is it going to be shady? Are they going to be able to do a non-biased report? I don't know. But I agree 100% with Kenny, and I usually don't. But the fact of the matter is the taxpayers in Philly should not pay for any studies or anything about this stadium. Sixers should pay for it. You elected these people to run the city government, so you have to trust that they're going to do the right thing. And again, in Philadelphia, I don't want to get into the political aspect of it, but I mean that this is who you elected, so let him do his thing. It's a good thing to me that the Sixers are paying for it, so we'll go from there. But like I said, let them pay for it, and we'll all be good. If you want to show your support for the Sixers, though, check out our friends at phillygoat.com. They have a wide selection of Sixers, Eagles. I know training camp starts next week if you want to get your Eagles stuff in. Just go check out everything they have. The weather, believe it or not, will get cooler, so they have a lot of good hoodies and hats and things like that. So go check them out. Get yourself ready for back to school, back to football, whatever you want. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off your order. That's Jim Montgomery at phillygoat.com. All right, today we're going to go back to 1958. And Dow Finsterwald won the 40th PGA tournament held at Llanerch Country Club in Havertown. And Finsterwald led after the first and second rounds. However, he had a rough third round, entered the fourth round 2 shots back of Sam Snead, who is the PGA Tour's all-time wins leader, tied with one Tiger Woods. Or I should say Tiger Woods is tied with Sam Snead. But Finsterwald finished -4. He won by 2 shots over Billy Casper and actually was able to win by 4 over Sam Snead, who had a rough fourth round, who shot a 73. And this is very, like, the PGA has changed the schedule of the majors because currently, as we speak, the Open Championship is happening over in Liverpool. Let's go, Rory. That's where I have my money for today. But on this day, it was the PGA Championship, and Dow Finsterwald beat out Sam Snead and Billy Casper to capture the 40th PGA Championship in Llanerch Country Club in Havertown. All right, it is time for Philly Sports Most Lovable Loser Tournament. And quick, an update from yesterday's game. The 93 Phillies saw their magical run end as the 2022 Phillies beat them with 57% of the vote. They will move on to the final of the Phillies Regional to be held earlier next week. Today we have a second round matchup in the Sixers Regional. And we have the number 1 seed, the 79-80 Sixers, taking on the number 4 seed, the 81-82 Sixers. First, the 79-80 Sixers beat the 2020-21 Sixers with 80% of the vote. If you remember, they went 59-23, second in the division, had the 3rd seed. It was their best record since 1967-68 when they won that championship. They beat the Bullets 2-0, the Hawks 4-1, and then they beat the Celtics 4-3. That was just a great team, but then they ultimately lost to the Lakers, and that was the Magic Johnson year where Kareem got hurt. Magic played center, had like 40 points, and just couldn't get over the hump. And that was Game 6, I believe. And then Dr. J, that was the iconic baseline reverse layup game, but they just couldn't get over the hump, and it seemed to be the MO for that team for the longest time. They're taking on the number 4 seed 81-82 Sixers. They went 58-24, finished second in the division, 3rd seed in the conference, and that was ultimately they just couldn't get over the hump. They beat the Hawks, they beat the Bucks. That was the year they beat the Celtics 4-3. Game 7 up in Boston, where the Boston crowd chanted "Beat LA, beat LA." So they got there. They weren't able to do it, but they were 1 year away from getting one Moses Malone to finally put them over the hump. So now it is your turn. Who wins that 79-86ers team or the 81-82? Be sure to get your votes in wherever you get this. I did play it out on What If Sports, and the 79-86ers won with 60% of the vote. Dr. J was just unstoppable for both teams in all the wins. Just shows you how good he was. But with 60% of the vote, the 79-86ers won on What If Sports. But be sure to let me know what you think. And I do apologize again for the sound. But on this day back in 1958, Dow Finsterwald won the 40th PGA Championship at Llanerch Country Club in Havertown. Be sure to check out our friends at 2008 Phillies in the description. Be sure to go to phillygoat.com and get your back-to-school shopping done. Hopefully the Phillies can pull out this series against the Brewers. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History. I'm Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Thursday, and until next time, I'll see you when I see you.